welcome and thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you're having a great day. Today, I'm going to talk about wonderful topic on ego. And now, ego has a different meanings and different aspects to it. So, there is one wonderful book I would recommend on this regard is that The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Wonderful book, and if you read it you will try to understand what actually ego means. I mean, he has described so much in depth towards of how we can simple general things what we think is normal is an ego, playing ego, which is very important for us to address and identify where do we stand. I mean, but the awareness, he talks very much in details. You can go ahead and read that book. I wanted to add on to something that yesterday I was going through one of the videos which was discussed by Wayne Dyer, and he has wonderful spiritual teachings, and also he wrote about 40 books, 40 plus books. And one incident he clearly remembers, and which really struck me, and what kind of ego we are talking about. Such a wonderful example he gives, and then we can understand that and apply in our life. And what are we doing if we have come across those kind of situation? An example goes like this. Now, he says that one day his wife and 6 kids at the time he had decided to go for a restaurant, and normally he used to drink a beer, and he the moment they sit down, and everybody started taking the orders, and first the waiter comes and he asks for get 2 beers, and the waiter said that sorry sir, we cannot serve alcohol today because last night our license got expired. And for which Wanda decided to move out of the restaurant just because he wanted to have a beer, not understanding or recognizing that he has 6 kids and a wife he needs to move away just because of his own desire to have a beer. And then he did put them in a car. I mean, they helped them to put in a car, and then his wife sat next to him, and they went to the closest restaurant to have a beer. For him to have a beer, not and he was not actually putting none of these, like he has a family, kids, and then it takes a lot of efforts to get there in the first place. Just because he wanted to have his own desires fulfilled, have a beer, he went for a different restaurant, driving a little bit far to have just his own beer. And he was doing himself a right. I mean, he was not answering anyone, because that's what he describes as an egocentric person and personality, and that is that he don't think about anyone else, be it your close family, be it your own friends, be it in your workplace. That's what ego does. Now, the same night, he has a very good revelation on the same thing. He reflected back, and then pretty much that's where he describes in that video that was the last night of his entire life for the future, that he decided not to drink anymore by being aware of that what kind of a mistake he has done. And even his wife tried to talk it over, and he pushed away during the day. But eventually, when he realized what actually gone through in that particular situation, and how he had behaved, and how he had how the ego had taken over for his own desire in order to have a beer. And then later on he described that since then he never drank alcohol in his life, by understanding what impact he did on his kids. Or probably the shift came from within. You can name it as a awakening, or you can name it, okay, there are many things we do. We come to get too close to such kind of incidents, and then we don't realize that we are doing it. But then when you come to awareness of, then you will try to realize. You might not, in his even teachings, he says you might not get through all at once, but one step at a time, trying to understand a deeper meaning of these things can help you a lot for your development, personally, professionally, and so on and so forth. Now, I hope that example can give you a bit of understanding on what we do in our daily lives, how we react, how we act, and are we so much focused on ourselves, or so much focused on our desire house? Are we so much focused on uh, clinging to do what is best for yourself? You're thinking in the cost of other family members or friends. That's something that you need to understand, and I hope that helps for you to reevaluate whatever the situations you're going. Ego is not only ego about in a workplace what we go through. There are many things we in a daily life that we act and interact makes a lot of difference. If you try to understand what is this ego also trying to teach you many things when you become aware of it. That's what Eckhart Tolle says. That's a wonderful book that you can read, is The New Earth, and which purely talks about a lot of this chapters talks about ego, how to get deep into it, how to understand more. Many people got benefited to it, and trying to understand this ego is very important. And how is it helping you? Is it helping you? Are you becoming more aware? Are you causing trouble or trauma to the people around you? Something that we really need to understand and evaluate and take ourselves to the next level, for us to feel better, and more importantly for others to be better being with us. Thank you so much, and thanks for watching, and I hope that helps for you to do better in what you do. Talk to you soon.